methods of teaching. I open y'all now, University of Rotterdam.
Okay, hi everyone again. Since coming here in October last year, one thing that that many of us have found pretty rewarding is in the teaching methods here is group work. Because they know that most of us come from diverse fields and disciplines, and they probably know that there are lots of things that they have in their curriculum that some people have no idea about. So they put us to work in groups, and working in groups, they give an individual certain skills. One thing is that you might be able to learn a skill that you probably didn't know how to use. And another thing that it does for an individual is that it can also help you improve on what you probably already knew, because somebody might probably know what you know better than you do. And in the teaching methods also, most of it is quite interactive. So the lecturers give you the opportunity to give them your own experience, and that enables others to learn from what takes place in different parts of the world. And lecturers also also learn from their students. So the interactive teaching method is one thing that puts you at ease and gives you, the space that you need to learn as much as possible. And then another thing they do here is that we have a lot of workshops. There are workshops that help you understand the practicality of what you are being taught. So you apply it using probably tools or softwares which you learn in the course of the program, and somehow it makes you understand that with group or teamwork, no matter how much what targets you have, you are still able to meet up and then provide something that is workable and something that can be applied in our urban cities. So that's one thing that group work or teamwork is something that I think should be taught from inception, if possible, maybe from even the undergraduate level, because it teaches one skills on how to survive in future and how to work with people in future.
Yeah, and I'm adding more points with the Sarah. That's actually from our Asian style of teaching, there is something really bit interesting and the more interactive, as she talked about. That here we have our two-way interactions, and there is no difference between the teacher and students. You can communicate very easily without having a fear that, if I'm going to ask a stupid question, if everybody laugh at us. No, not at all. And there they have a very good stance that nobody is wrong. So you can share your ideas, your views very openly. Nobody is going to laugh at you. That's the basic thing. And here we are using a very good interactive tool, which we call the Blackboard, there with the name. And the Blackboard is basically the thing which really makes your time very effectively utilized. And you can submit your assignments. You don't need to walk behind your teacher. We want to submit your assignment to you, where you are. So from all these type of things, you are gonna save your time. Just in a click, you have to open your Blackboard, and then
what is this Blackboard? Is this like a software or something, Anu?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
How does this work?
Yeah, exactly. It's the software which I'm gonna tell. That's the software which is given to us by our institution. And we all have our student numbers, so we can log in by our student number. And when we have to submit our assignment, we have to take the news or announcements from our teachers. So they're gonna share at the Blackboard, and then you can share with all of the students at that time without the restriction that is it night, day, or something else. And then you have to submit it. Yeah, and you have to submit your assignment like we only have a deadline like midnight 12. So we are gonna submit our assignments at the 11th hour. That we call Chandrat always in our language.
So that's something common around the world, I'm assuming. I'm sure my Indian counterparts here also will be like, ha kar lenge, abhi time hai times,
Exactly.
Sorry, carry
that
on.
We can do at the 11th hour, and we call it Chandrat always. That's okay. That's the 12 midnight is our deadline, and a one click we have to submit our assignment. So it's really very good for the student. It saves your time, it saves your money. You don't need to take a printout.
Is
And
there an
then
app also, Anu? Is there an app of this also, which could be downloaded on your phone and stuff?
Not yet.
No, not yet. But that's the software.
Okay.
That's Access. Yeah, that's the Erasmus. And yeah, the very best thing is that when you are enrolled in such a big university, then they have a free online library access. So you can download thousands of articles and you can take everything. Like you don't need to pay by your university account. You have access to multinational libraries, and you can take the knowledge and you can share the articles.
I get that.
Yeah.
For the entrepreneurs, 1 minute, Anu, I'll just like to bring in this point. For the entrepreneurs who are tuned in to us from whichever part of the world, this is your window of opportunity. Anu just made something that they use, which is called the Blackboard. Imagine building an app that will do everything that the Blackboard does on an app, and all the university students and clients will end up becoming your clients. And imagine how much money you can make there. Boom. Okay, coming back to you, Anu, right there.
Yeah,
Anu.
okay. And the one thing that we are all that's not only the learning degree, but here we are around more than 100 students in a one class, like more than 100 nationalities you are gonna study with. And not only you are sharing your experiences, that's a good platform to share your culture, your thoughts, your past experiences. So not only it is the degree for learn, that's the culture to share, that's the thinking to share, that's the platform to make the international friends, international links, which we gonna help with each other, which we gonna utilize in our future whenever we have a problem we want to share.
Yeah. You mean supreme networking in your cohort, right? Like in your network. That'll be ever helpful. Fantastic. Any more points y'all might want to make, or y'all are good here on the methods of teaching front on this share? Oh, you guys are good. Moving on to the boys now. I'm sure they have a few to add. I won't be surprised if one of the boys says, Rishabh, there's already an app that like that and it's making a lot of money. I'm sure some of them, they're all smiling. So I'm sure I'm going to be proven wrong right now. Boys, you guys are on now.
Yeah. I think the teaching method here in India is kind of a little mundane, I think, compared to what happens in the international universities. And I'm saying that the reason being, we have more difference between what we are taught in the college and when you come outside as a graduate. So that there's a difference between knowledge and practical, which I think needs to be reduced. And also the other thing would be, like Anup mentioned, so you guys have a online library where you can probably have access to a lot of case studies or different study materials. So the technology and the software, stuff like this are still to come to India. And something like this, I think, will give a boost to the education system once it comes.
I kind of agree with Akshay. I think the only thing the Indian education system has to offer us is it kind of gets you ready for the rigor, the hard work that's required to probably, practice as an architect for the next 40 years or 50 years till whenever you're alive. But that's about it. And there's a lot of gap between the theory that's been taught to us to what is happening on site, practically speaking. And that gap to be bridged I think it's going to take a few years. And that's why I feel we as Indians and in our education system are losing out much. But we are very apt. We can work hard, we can work with 24 hours a day, but without any outcome. So that's why I think we are losing out.
And
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, and I think there's also lack of cross-disciplinary knowledge. Like there's lack of physical education to urban issues, like how it's happening right now in today's practical world. But the good thing about the system is there's a lot of group working as well, like you have in different universities across the nation, which helps everyone to share what they're doing and bring a new idea on the table, which helps in creative and innovative ideas. So yeah, that's a good thing about it.
Rishabh, we can't.
Rishabh, you're on mute, I guess.
Yeah. I said that considering we are from the Indian subcontinent, we start talking and we don't stop talking. And that's a problem that most of us have. Let's stick on to the time, and we'll move on that note to the next one, which is interesting remote topics in your area.